How are you, Bruce? Hope you're well.
I'm all well.
Okay. Today we are going to continue with the discussion on what you should do before you quit your job. Yes, as we are waiting for Mr. Peter Kamau join, tunaweza go through some things and maybe tunaweza pitia before afike, na pia nimesikia inaitwaje, watu walikuwa na jana maswali na hatukuweza sikuweza kuwapea a chance. Watu wengi walini DM. I'm so sorry. Sawa, lakini ni sawa tu. You'll have a chance leo. Kindly prepare your questions. Yeah, kindly prepare your questions. Hata Mr. Kamau anasema join in a few minutes. Sawa. Now, yesterday we discussed on the characteristics of an entrepreneur, and there are some things yenye naweza taka to state, just an overview. One is that an entrepreneur has a willingness to take calculated risk. That means lazima analyze the kind of risk that you're going to take. That is our next discussion, our next chapter, which we'll be discussing probably kesho. Then another one, a willingness to fly in the face of conventional wisdom. You too, an entrepreneur will suspend disbelief and try something even when all people around him or her say it can't be done. It's just, you must have, sisi tunasemanga inaitwa kuwa paranoid. Make sure that you're paranoid. It's very essential. So kama an entrepreneur, if you're not paranoid, utakufa njiani. You and your dreams. Another thing is creativity and ability to accomplish things beyond their own resources. Yes, Nana Mr. Peter ametujoin, karibu sir. Another one is they are masters at solving problems, converting those problems into valuable intellectual property, then leveraging the intellectual property into a business. I think that's one thing that we should also discuss. Hiyo Mr. Peter kama utatusaidia kidogo on how to hii ni copyright, how to copyright or to secure your intellectual properties. Another one is they are master at using other people's money and other people's resources. Pia hiyo kidogo tunaweza taka kujua kidogo, Mr. Peter kama utatuelezea. Nyingine ni an entrepreneur is a role model and a figure to many because they're the ones who come up with the ideas. Yes. Now, I'd like us to start our discussion. Tuanze at ease kidogo. Maybe Mr. Peter kama unaweza share your insights on your journey as an entrepreneur, kumekuwa aje? What are some of the lessons that you've learned that maybe you can share? For me, najua a wise person learns from the experience of others, but someone who is not a foolish person who learns from their own experience. Kindly, maybe unaweza tusaidia tusikuwe foolish. Kindly.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We begin by saying that life rewards action, not intelligence. Life rewards action, not intelligence. So for you to succeed in a business, you must have an action. You must take an action. And when you take an action, as a business person, one of the things that I've learned is that you must be resilient. Resilience means you don't give up. You must be persistent in whatever you're doing, and you must give it your all your best for you to be able to succeed. That is one of the greatest lessons I've learned.
Wow, one of the greatest lessons. Amazing. Now, kindly share, kama you can, what have been your greatest success in your business? And uweze kushare how you got there, what are some of the challenges that you faced along the way? Yes.
success in business is creating the network, creating relations. And that is why we say your worth, your network. What kind of network are you making for any of your business? Let's take an example. If you are to start a matatu business. In that matatu business, if you look at the number of people that you must have a network with, from the supplier of your matatu, the person who makes your seat, to the insurance person, to the conductor whom you're going to have, to your driver, to the route managers, to the police on the road, to the kanjo, to now the last person who will be your passengers. If you look at all that, if you don't create a good rapport and a good image to all these people, your business is not going to thrive. So one of the areas that I've made use of a great deal is to ensure that I create good rapport and create good network. And that network is the one that has ensured that I have repeat customers. A customer who comes today and comes tomorrow, and then he does the referral. That is the success that I may say has been of great importance to my business.
Wow. Okay. And since tumeongea about the greatest success, maybe unaweza share your greatest failure, mahali penye ulienda ukagonga ukuta ukaona hapana. Kindly.
One of the failures was who to employ to do what I need done. That's where the greatest challenge was, how to employ the people to work with. Because though the capital is there, though the materials to use are there, but who to do was the greatest challenge that actually affected my business a great deal.
Okay. Now how are you able to solve that? Yes, najua jana tuliongea kidogo about HR consultancy, but tuilete in real life, how are you able to solve it as Peter Kamau?
One of the things that was to do is to train the people that you work with to change their attitude, and not only changing their attitude, but also giving them a good conducive working environment. So that with that good conducive working environment, you consider them as people with a different version and a different opinion away from mine. And therefore from that now, you're able to get what is your opinion on this and the other, because nobody has a monopoly of knowledge. So what maybe I had thought, because these are the people who are interacting with the customers, they're the people who are getting the feedback from the customers, so that from those feedbacks from the customer, I'm able now to make adjustments that now are able to be tailor-made to suit the needs of the customer, not only my idea, but the need for the customer. Remember I said at one time I had a boutique. It is this employee who is interacting with the customer and say, this is a new trend of the fashions that are there. This is a new dress that is in fashion. For me, I may think this is what is there, but the employees on say, this is what is required. At the same time, these employees are the ones who say, what time is best for actualization or for the sale. So I learned quite a lot from those. So being accommodative of the ideas of the employees was of great importance to my business.
Okay. There's a statement that inakuwa very essential as entrepreneurs, and we need to get it. Inasemanga kuwa as an entrepreneur, there are times that you'll get to spend some time doing non-income producing activities so that you can take care of your business. Maybe Mr. Peter Kamau, can you share kindly some of the non-income producing activities that you do, ama ni vitu gani zenye umebidi ufanye for free so that you can build your brand, so that at least you may lay the foundation of your business?
As business, as you can see, I also own Tinda Insurance Agencies. And as Tinda Insurance Agency, one of the things that you do, they are non-profitable. You visit a school, there's a school, for example, I went and I built for them a gate. so that you change the perception of the students when they're getting into the school under what we call the corporate social responsibility. Just build a gate, a proper gate, so that by the time they are coming into the school, they change the perception. I've come from the village and I'm now getting to the school, and the image of the school has changed. That one, it's non-profitable, but it changes the perception of the students, and it does well. The other one is non-profitable, is whereby at the end of the year you prepare some diaries, some notebooks that you deliver or you give to your customers and even the prospective customers, which now, and the small gift that is there, or the token, act as a bait for you to create more and more business. It's non-profitable to you, but it makes you to gain some headway.
Okay. Hapo tu kwa penye umeongelea the non-profiting things that you do, how do you think it affects your customers? How do you think it affects your revenue? Na pia maybe if you don't do that, maybe kama ni another business person, au maybe unaweza sema maybe how it can affect them if they don't do that.
A gift to a customer is a show of appreciation. Number two, a notebook is something that you use on a daily basis. So it acts as a reminder, so and so. That notebook is on the desk. That diary is the one that he's referring to on a daily basis. So at the end of the day, that diary that he's referring to, it's a marketing tool for me. So that I'm able now to market my business, and whenever he goes and asks, oh, by the way, I see you have a nice good diary. I see you have a nice good notebook. And all of them are imprinted with my business name there and the logo. That becomes a marketing tool for me. Just as you see some companies, they give you ball pens. I've not reached that level. Some give t-shirts, capes, ball pens. All those merchandise, they are not profitable to the organization, but they go a long way to show the customer that you appreciate them. So if you don't, there is another person who is doing the same. And again, this person is reminding you every other day, that is why my diary, my notebook, the ball pen that you're using are all within your reach.
Amazing. Wow, that's a nice strategy, a branding. Now, since you ventured into this business and tunasikia uko all in, like hakuna roho yako yenye iko nje, do you think your friends and family are emotionally supportive of your efforts in this venture?
I'll tell you one free fact that when you start a business, the first person to come and buy from you is not your family members. It's neither your neighbors. It is that stranger. He's the one who will support your business. He's the one who will believe in your ideology and your business. But when you have a party, at the end of it all, when your business has succeeded, it is your family members and the neighbors who will be there, but the stranger will not be there. So treat that stranger very well, because he's the one who will be there for business. Number two, the family members and most of the neighbors, most of the times, they come for credit. And therefore, and you remember, as we said, one of the things that you do, if you need a business to prosper, always ensure cash on delivery so that you don't have a cash flow problem. If you have the cash flow in your business, you'll be able to thrive. If you don't have the cash flow because of too much of the credit, then your business is not going to survive long.
Oh, since umeongelea mambo ya neighbors and families, kidogo, will you advise someone to sell to their families ama kwanza waachane nao kwanza watawapata huko mbele?
The family are very important. If they are supportive to you, well and good, you work together. If they are supportive to you, that is in fact one of the best places to begin with, because they will believe in you and they are going to. But there is always the other aspect of I'm making this person better off by buying from them. The only thing that you miss to know is that whether you buy from him or not, you will still go and buy it or purchase that product from another person out there, but you're not profiting. And that is why you have found at times there is this story that is told of a person who doesn't buy from you, but will be the first person to give you a donation card for Harambee. And then when you don't attend the function, the person becomes angry. But where am I going to get the money to come and contribute in your Harambee, yet you don't support my business? So sometimes it's good to support each other. And this is whereby the Asian community, the Wahindi, they do very well because they support each other. And out of the supporting each other, their businesses thrive. I buy from my own family members, you buy from your relatives, and each one of you is able to thrive and do very well in business.
Amazing. Now, hiyo ilikuwa tu lay the foundation. Now, let's start our discussion of the day. Now, Mr. Kamau, which kind of businesses will you recommend the current generation to dive into, and why?
There are several businesses that if you start, you'll never go wrong. There are about 5 of them. You never go wrong. If you are to venture into medicine, you never go wrong because of what you call health for that matter. Whether it is a hospital, whether it's selling the insurance, the medical insurance, whether it's selling the drugs, whether it's the services that you have for the sick, because nobody wants to be sick. So when somebody falls sick, they will do anything to ensure that they are well. So if you go into the business for the health sector, you never go wrong. Another sector that you will not go wrong, though it requires a higher capital, is what you call the real estate. If you go into the real estate, it requires a lot of capital, yes. Whether it's buying land, whether it's building rental houses, because at no single time that the population of this country will decline. The population is always increasing. The demand for houses is high every day and is increasing every day. And that is why you find even the government is not able to. And that's why they have tried even to introduce what you call the house levy. Because the demand for house or for shelter in this country is increasing on a daily basis. Another area that will never go wrong, if you go to the area of food, whatever food that you'll be selling, because there is no single time that people will not require food. So those are areas that you never go wrong. Another area that is very highly competitive is when you think about the transport sector. If you go to the transport sector, whether you're going on the well-known the matatu industry, or you go into the car hire, you go to the tour travel, or you go to the rental cars, you never go wrong. Whether you go to the transport for the parcels, transport of the goods and services, that is where you have the lorries and the others, you never go wrong. And in conjunction with that, anyone who now goes to the service industry for the transport, whether you're now selling the spare parts, you never go wrong, because at no single time in this country when the spares are going to be, they will not be in demand. So those are 5 areas that are very important. One, you've said the health, the real estate. We've talked about the food, on the area of food, whether it is in the selling food themselves, hotels and the others, you never go wrong. You've talked about the transport, and you've talked about the spares.
Kidogo maybe mimi ndio maybe mimi ndio na overthink, lakini most of these businesses zenye umetaja, they need let me not say huge capital, but a good sum of money. Now, kwa mtu mwenye anaanza small, how would you advise them? Which kind of businesses wanafaa kuanza as they're still having that vision of having this kind of businesses in umetaja? Where should they start?
The starting point of any business is either you are able to start as an employee, or the other area is starting off as a family. You are able now to move with the family. If your family is being maybe doing a certain area, you diversify from that. It is an easier area, because starting a business from the scratch is not an easy task. But if you have the capital, because anybody can start any business, the only thing that it requires is what capital do you have. And as you know, there are three sources of capital. Either it is through your savings, so as a young person, how much have you saved? Or from your family, or borrowing, that is from the loans. So the three would determine what kind of a business you're going to have. So, and a business can start from a small to now, so long as you have the strategic plan, that to now be able to grow business slowly by slowly. So we cannot just say which area are you going to, because if you go to a business whereby everybody, for example, right now everybody is going to the IT, everybody is going to online lighting. Okay, those businesses, how many people are there? What is the competition that is in that business? So it is of great importance to know what is the source of my income, or how much do I have as a capital for me to be able to grow my business slowly by slowly.
Wow. Since kidogo umesema about how you're going to grow your business, slowly by slowly. Now, what do you think is the right mindset of an entrepreneur? Since entrepreneurship is never an easy task, which kind of mindset is one supposed to have?
The mindset of an entrepreneur is one of resilience. Resilience is where you're able to do something and do it again and do it again. You don't lose heart. Because entrepreneur, an employee works from 8 to 5. An entrepreneur works for 24 hours. So you must be a hard worker. You must be disciplined. You must be organized. Because a business needs organization. It needs proper planning, and it needs action and persistently doing what you're required to do every day. Then you also have to have proper communication skills. Because you may have any business that you may have, whether you are a professional. Professionals I'm speaking about, maybe you're completed your college and you want to go and start, for example, your law firm. You have completed your studies, you want to go and start your accounting firm. You have completed your studies, you want to go and start your tour and travel company. You have completed your training, for example, you want to go and start your clearing and forwarding office. What are the issues that are there? You must be able to communicate well with your client. Communication is key for you to be able to thrive in any business that you're thinking of.
Kidogo kwa communication, what are some of the things that one's supposed to pay keen attention when they are dealing with their customers? Hapo sana sana mambo ya communication na how would you advise someone to communicate with either their customers, their investors, and all these people? How would you advise them?
In communication, it's always good to have what you call training. You train yourself on proper communication skills. And one of the key, communication is two-way. There is a talking and listening. A successful business person is one who is keen to listen, not to judge. You listen, you learn from the experience of others. Kindly try not to reinvent the wheel. By reinventing the wheel, you want to go and start something that is so new that nobody has ever done it, because there's nothing new in this world. So, one, ensure that you learn from others so that you don't have to reinvent. Number two, Have the proper language. If, for example, the people that where you are going to have your business, the language is Kiswahili. Learn that language. If it is the majority of the people they are using the vernacular, and that is why the location of your business is also of great importance. Who are your targeted customer? What social class are they? What language are they using? So that you're able to communicate. And communication is ensuring that people understand you well. Because if people do not understand you well, there will be miscommunication. And with miscommunication, then you find that it brings in infighting between you and your customers. So in communication, one, train yourself to be a good listener and a good communicator. You must be audible. Then the facial expression, where we say that 70% of communication is through the body expressions. So you must show appreciation and proper body language to your customers so that you're able to communicate what you require of them.
Amazing communication. 70%, amazing. Now, since tumetaja kidogo kwa one of the skills, what are some of other skills that one needs to acquire as an entrepreneur for them to thrive? Let me repeat that. What are some of the other skills, Mr. Peter, that you think a person who wants to venture into business should acquire?
Other than communication, there is the aspect of branding. You must be well branded so that you brand yourself and your business well. So you must know how to brand. Number two, you must be able to know to have a good display within your organization. If you are starting a tour farm, for example, you have done maybe tourism and you want to have a tour farm, how are you going to brand? The branding of a tour farm is totally different from the law farm. Okay? The same is different from somebody who is going to have an accountant or an audit firm. Is totally also different from somebody who is going to have a studio. Is also totally different from somebody who is going to have a hotel. So the branding, the colors, so that you're able to understand. So you must be, one is we have talked about communication. Number two, proper branding. Number three, a skill that you must be able to have is organization. You must be well organized. Well organized. Then another skill which is very, very important is customer relation. How do you relate to your customers? And this comes in terms of what are your turnaround times, what you call the TNT, turnaround time. If somebody places an order today or somebody places an inquiry, how long do you take for you to be able to revert back to that customer? So those are four very important aspects or skills that you must have for you to thrive as a business or as an entrepreneur.
Since as an entrepreneur, one will be dealing with money, would you advise someone to get to have a bit of knowledge on accounting and finance?
Basic knowledge in accounting is of great importance, and that is why mathematics is very important. But no one is a jack of all trades. And failures are people who want to know absolutely everything. If your area of expertise is this area, it's very important. Just have the basic, then employ other people to do for you. You cannot be a jack of all trades. And that is why employing people with the expertise that is required is of great importance. Number two, if you're not able to, then have a consultant who can be coming in and out to give you advices on different areas, not only in finance, government policies, HR policies, in different areas that you're supposed to have. Marketing, sales, because you cannot do absolutely everything. Think of a person who is a professional as a doctor. You have started a hospital. Yours is diagnosis and treatment. What time are you going to do the sales? What time do you have for the accounting? You get the point. The other part is when you're going out to get the recruitment of your staff. So it's of great importance to have, yes, the basics, but also have other people to work with you to actualize your idea.
Wow. Have people to actualize your idea. So when you want to say like if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes it's good to go back to school and gain some knowledge or some skills in business. Is that really recommendable, ama let them focus on their niche, then they employ the other people, since kidogo maybe inaweza leta hiccups?
I'm saying information is power, education is power. So, and ignorance is no defense. So it's always good to have a learning. And I would wish to introduce what we call the 3 C's. These C's, we say, you must change because what you thought about yesterday is different from today. You must be challenged on a daily basis. And number 3, you must continue learning. So for a business to thrive, you must be ready to change because nothing is constant, because you are being challenged and take positively the challenges that are there so that they push you to continue learning. So learning is very important for you. So take a few minutes or maybe about an hour or so for you to continue learning every other day. It's good even if you go to evening classes, continue learning on new skills and new techniques if you want to thrive and succeed in any business area that you are dealing with.
Okay. Jana watu walikuwa na maswali. Let me give them a chance for them to ask you a few questions. Yes. The floor is open. Anyone? Mlini text jana mkisema mko na maswali.
Hello.
Yes, proceed, Asis.
How are you, Mr. Kamau? I'm very well. Okay, I wanted to get some little insights about how you maneuver when you're trying to start you want to begin a business, a startup. How do you maneuver between the lines when you want to decide? Let's say I want to start a business. Let's say food business. I want to distribute food, and we have competitors. Yes, maybe you've evaluated the business gaps, and for example, I don't have the capacity to do it. How will I maneuver through it? Especially when trying to sell you. Tuseme sina uwezo ya kufanya hiyo kitu, the capital maybe, and I'm fearful someone may steal my idea if I try to tell them because I need help. Now, how will I present my idea to them in such a way that they'll be ready to collaborate and not like kunibia, the idea. I've just spotted a business gap somewhere. I don't have the capacity to do it by myself, but because I need collaboration, how will I tell it to someone and I'll want to make them collaborate rather than take my idea and run away? First, Aziz, thank you very much for your question. And I would want to tell you that in the world that we live in today, only 5% come up with any idea that has changed the world. 10% copy-paste what you're doing. 85% are there to criticize and do nothing. If you're among the 5% who are ideal or who have the ideas, the way to go about is, as you said, the aspect of collaboration is your network. You may have a very good business. The source of capital, maybe your family or your friend. Okay? If not so, you may write down your business idea, and then that business idea that you have, you look for a person who is doing the same, and you see how you can be able to collaborate with that kind of a person. That is where now you have the issue of patent. I'm the originator of this idea, but I'm not able to implement it. And because I have a patent or copyright of what I need, can I be able to sell that idea to somebody else? This has happened so much in the music industry, whereby some of the great music that we have today, the musicians are not the owners of the copyright or the people who actually script the song. Somebody had the script of the song, but because he doesn't have the capability to go and record and shoot the video or the music for that purpose, he sells that idea to others, and then he earns what we call now maybe the royalty from the same. They have an agreement. From this is my take. That can be one of the areas that you can have. But if you have the capital, look at where is the location of my business, and you have come up with a very good one. What are the missing gaps that are there, so that in any business, always be offering a solution to the community. If you are able to go for a solution, you'll be able to go. But if you are not an area, like you've said, I've identified a gap, and then from that gap, what solution can I come up with to solve? Then you'll be able to thrive. I hope I've tried to answer your query.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Mercy, before to release Mr. Kamau, do you have a question? Okay, I think that's it for tonight, Mr. Kamau. Thank you very much for your participation and for enlightening us on some of the key things that we're supposed to consider in terms of business. Thank you very much. Yes, I think tunaweza.
I'm very much humbled for being part of this. I'm always available so that we can grow the journey together. Thank you, Mercy and Aziz.
Thank you very much. Acha release Mr. Peter Kamau. Kidogo, he's a busy man. Yes, but kidogo will tutaendelea. There are some of the questions zenye naweza taka as we are winding up. Uniache ukifikiria. For tomorrow, tutakuwa na that 1 hour session. For tonight, tumerush kidogo ndo maana hata the questions zimekuwa bit soft since Mr. Peter Kamau akona some engagements. So, some of the questions that I will want you to think about as you are planning to have a business, or maybe you have a business that is running, I would like you to have these questions at the back of your mind. Why do you want, or why did you want to own your own business? Get to have that in mind. How badly do you want to own your business? That's two. Another thing is, at what level of play do I want to play the game? Kumbuke tuliongelea about being a self-employed na wengine being a business owner. Kwa hapo pia kwa business owner pia ndio penye utaweza ku have multiple businesses. So at what level do you want to play your game? Another one is, at what level are you willing to extend yourself to play the game? So you must be competent to the level that you want to achieve. So at what level are you willing to extend yourself to play the game? Ingine ni, are you willing to spend the time to learn about other successful entrepreneurs and their businesses? It's very key. Get to learn on what, let me just state a few, my icons. Kuna Vusi Thembakwayo, that's one person that I really honor, since he's also in according the same field that I'm in. Mr. Vusi Thembakwayo, enda usikize watu kama kina Elon Musk, get to have the story of Steve Jobs, kwa watu they're coming up with new ideas. Kuna this guy in Kenya, koja pia get to listen ama have analyze kidogo uweze kuona story ya Safaricom, documentary ya Safaricom. Kuna McDonald's, please tafuta kwanza McDonald's. That's an amazing documentary which you'll get to learn if you want to expand your business. These are key people that you're supposed to listen to or get to have their documentaries. They will really change your mind and they really help you in your journey of entrepreneurship. Another question that you should ask yourself is, are you afraid to fail? Kumbuka, an entrepreneur unafaa kuwa resilient. Another term what tunasema is an entrepreneur unafaa kuwa paranoid. Ufai kukubali kila kitu ingie kwa masikio, zingine huo unafunga, hautaki kusikia. Ingine ni, can you turn your fear of failing into strength? And that will help you drive the business. So can you turn your fear of failing into strength? By the way, shall be discussing on fear and failings and how we can turn our failures into our strength and how we can drive our failures to helping us learn and move our businesses forward. Another question that you should ask yourself is, can I learn from my mistakes? Yes. Ingine ni, can I build a team, or do you like to work by yourself? Get to understand if you're a business owner or you're just or you're self-employed. We appreciate the two. So get to understand your level of the play. So get to understand whether you need a team ama you'll work by yourself. Na pia kwa timu kumbuke pia lazima ukue a leader. So are you ready to be a leader and manage so many people? Ama do you want just to work by yourself? Another question is, are you willing to pay the price? Kumbuke, an entrepreneur venye tumeambiwa, these are hardworking people, they're very disciplined. You must be willing to do something that even they won't account to the amount that you'll be having in your bank. Vitu zingine utafanya for free so that at least you create your brand. So are you willing to pay the price? Another thing is, are you willing to put in the time now to be rewarded later? Trust you me, some businesses at hautaona profits. A very good example ni ilikuwa inaitwa, hii company inaitwaje? Hii ya bookstore inaitwa Amazon. By the way, ukienda usome historia ya Amazon ama ukiangalia the financial statement, unaweza pata in any financial newspaper, for the past 15 years they haven't made any profits. Imagine, any profits. Now as of now, it's the biggest e-commerce platform, it's the biggest e-commerce business, but it has never made profits for the past 15 years. Na saizi tunasema Jeff Bezos ndio among the richest people. So get to understand that sometimes you must be willing to wait to be rewarded later. The last question that you should ask yourself is, am I willing to delay financial rewards? That's the same thing until the business succeed, or do I need a paycheck? Sapo ndo penye unafaa when you're answering this question ndo penye utaweza kujua whether you'll quit your job to focus on your business ama you'll still run your business as you're still working. Yes, that's it for today. And yes, for tomorrow we'll have the 1 hour session, but for tonight wacha if he comments hapo, ishia hapo, ati comments, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I mean ishia hapo. Yes, thank you for your time and good night.